Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. My name is Amy Beltran, and I am here to help you lose the emotional weight and gain the confidence to look and feel irresistible at any size. I teach women through my group coaching program called Irresistible You. This is a program that I designed out of my own experiences doing a lifetime on the yo-yo diet body hate shame cycle. And now I am here to help you do exactly the same, to get off of that cycle and discover the irresistible you that's actually waiting to come out. So this week, you guys, I am going to be talking about with you and unpacking a statement that I know that you say all the time. You think it, you say it out loud, you message me, I read your DMs, your emails, we have conversations about this. And this statement is the following. It goes a little bit like this. I know what to do and I know how to do it. I'm just not doing it. Now, mostly this is applied to weight loss. So I know exactly what to do to lose the weight. I know how to lose the weight. I'm just not doing it. Right? Or, you say things like, I know I need to wake up earlier each morning so I can work out. I know I need to be doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm not doing it, even though I know exactly what to do and how to do it. And so that's what I'm going to be unpacking. I'm unpacking that today specifically as it relates to your weight loss journey and feeling uncomfortable and miserable in your own skin. So, that's really frustrating, right? When you think that, I know exactly how to do this. I've done it before, but I'm just not doing it. But yet I'm uncomfortable and I'm miserable and I don't like the body that I'm in right now. And I know that I have to do something to change. And then there's like this disconnect in between. I really, really want this and I really, really, really know what to do, but I'm not doing it. That is utterly frustrating and it's confusing. And that's what I want to help you kind of unpack and walk through today in this episode. And when we're talking about this, so if you listen, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, because I know my listeners so well and the type of women that tune into this podcast is really geared towards women that have struggled on what I have deemed the yo-yo diet body hate shame cycle. And so what that means is you're in this constant cycle of starting over on Monday, doing your new diet, trying to stick to everything perfectly, falling off the rails by Thursday. Hey, maybe you're falling off the rails a month from now or 2 months from now, but at some point you are losing that momentum and you go back into your old habits. You go back into hating the body that you're in. You go back into all the shame and like what I call the inner fat bitch talk and all of that stuff. And the cycle just keeps repeating itself. I spent a lifetime doing exactly that, and I know firsthand it's exhausting. It makes you feel crazy. It makes you feel stupid. It makes you feel less than, especially if in other areas of your life you are able to excel. And so for me, what used to happen, I've always been very much a go-getter. I've always been very much like focused and goal driven in my career. And so I used to think, oh my God, Amy, like, how are you so driven and so ambitious? And how is it like in your career? And how is it like in your job, no matter what goal you set for yourself, like, you're going to kill it as long as you don't stand in your own way, right? And I'm like, then why can't you do something as simple, and I'm using air quotes around simple, why can't you do something as simple as lose the damn weight? Like, what is the problem? That's what used to go through my mind all the time. And so I know you're probably struggling with that as well. And it's like you're trying to figure this thing out. So let's talk about that. And I'm just going to be very blunt with you. Like, when am I not blunt with you guys and keeping it real? But let's just lay all this out on the table right here, right now. And I'm going to just go ahead and hit you with this truth bomb because it is my job to help you see that what you're doing isn't helpful. It is not my job to coddle you. It is not my job to rub your back and say, it's okay, keep doing what you're doing, everything's going to be fine. That's not my job. So if that's what you're looking for, then you can just exit off the podcast right now because I don't do that. That is not my style. That is not helpful to you. And that is not going to get you to the level that you want to be at. My job is to help you see that what you're doing doesn't work and that there is another way that you need to be thinking about things. And so, a lot of times So people in our lives will tell us, no, it's okay. You're just having a hard time. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get through it. And that's their job, right? Like, that's their job, is to like make you feel better about it. But that's not helping you transform. That's not helping you change. And so I say all of this with love and respect, but I need you to hear this. So you say that you know what to do. You say that you know how to lose weight. You say you know how to lose weight, but you're just not doing it. Well, here's the truth bomb. Clearly, you don't know what you're doing. That's right. If you are stuck on the yo-yo diet body hate shame cycle and you're gaining weight and losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight, and you've been doing this for years, even if you had success years ago and you lost all your weight, or you got close to your goal, or you lost a significant amount, I want you to hear this. No, you do not know what you're doing. Because if you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be repeating this cycle over and over again. Now, you might think you know how to get the weight off, the physical weight, because you've done that. But that's not what you actually need. That's only one piece of the puzzle. Because if you were doing all the other things that I know you need to be doing, you wouldn't keep gaining the weight back. You wouldn't keep talking shit to yourself in the mirror. You wouldn't keep repeating this cycle if you knew exactly how to do it. That might be hard for you to hear. That's okay. That's okay. Because you need to hear that. And I'm going to say it again. You don't know what you're doing. Because if you did, you would not keep repeating the yo-yo diet body hate shame cycle over and over and over and over again. So that's a story you're actually telling yourself. Well, I know how to do it. I know what to do. I know how to lose the weight. I'm just not doing it. Okay, so let's get into this. And then I think that will all start to like make better sense for you as I dive deeper into this. So what you do know how to do right now is you sure as hell know how to have a scarcity mindset or a lack mindset. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when we sit in this place of, oh, I know what to do and I know how to do it, I'm just not doing it, we start to look. We start to, I got to research and figure out why. Like, what's really going on with me? Because clearly I'm just not doing it, so there's a reason why. So you start to look for things and you think, well, obviously I don't have enough willpower. That's not a thing. So let's just throw that out the window right now. We think that, well, maybe I don't want it bad enough. So you're thinking to yourself, you don't want it bad enough, but yet you wake up in the morning and before your eyes even open, you're going through the entire inner fat bitch monologue inside your head. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to last week's episode. And if you're going through the inner fat bitch monologue from the moment you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you're miserable. You're uncomfortable. You don't want to live like this anymore. So I think there's a lot of desire there, but you're not doing what you need to do to get there. Okay. So that's not, so we start having to like look for, I have a lack of something. So there's this lack mindset. Well, I'm lacking willpower. I'm lacking desire. I have a lack of like not wanting it bad enough for myself. Or maybe it's because I actually aren't at my rock bottom. I went through this of like, well, maybe it's because I'm not hurting bad enough. Well, how much more do you think you need to hurt? Like, that's a self-worth issue. If you actually think something worse or something bad needs to happen to you in order for you to realize that you're worth a damn and that you're worth taking care of yourself, that's an issue. And so we look for, well, I have to hit my rock bottom. I guess this isn't it. I thought this was pretty bad, but I guess this isn't it. So we just go around looking for negative things. We go around looking for like the other shoe to drop when that is a self-worth issue. It really, really is. Because that is you not believing you deserve it right now. You're thinking, I only deserve to feel good, to look good if something worse were to happen to me right now. Then I'll do something about it. we think that, kind of in the same vein of that, of like, well, I'm like waiting for this big, like, knock me over the head aha moment where like the angels are going to sing and like the lights are going to come on and I'm going to have this amazing, beautiful epiphany in this aha moment and it's all just going to come into focus for me. All right, boo, you keep looking for that. Like, you do you. Like, you keep looking for that aha moment, that epiphany for you. Meanwhile, your life is passing you by. Meanwhile, you're still feeling miserable. Meanwhile, you're still having the inner bitch dialogue every day. That is only an excuse that is wasting time to push off the responsibility of what you actually need to be doing. Okay? And you spend so much time agonizing over why this isn't working for you, why you're not doing what you need to do, even though you have the tools in your mind, you know what to do and you know how to do it, but you're not doing it. So you agonize over trying to find what it is you're lacking. And you look for things like lacking of willpower, desire, not wanting it bad enough, not hurting bad enough, not hitting rock bottom, or looking for this aha moment that hasn't shown up for you yet. Instead of taking that time and energy into trying to do it, into trying to take small steps, into trying to take imperfect action, where you would be further ahead than you are right now. And what ends up happening is while you're looking for all this stuff that you think you're lacking, you're still overeating, you're still miserable, you're still overweight, you're still uncomfortable, you still don't like what you see in the mirror, you still don't feel confident, you're still playing it small in your life, while you're spending all of this time looking for things to be wrong, looking for things that you think that you need when that is actually not serving you at all. So the other thing you know how to do really well is to have excuses, okay? Like, let's just call it what it is. And I say this all the time. There is not one excuse that you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself. There is not one excuse that you can pull over on me and think that I'm going to believe that that's a reasonable excuse for you, because I've done it. So I can see it and I can call you out on it. And when you are in this yo-yo diet, body hate, shame cycle and struggling with your weight, you are the queen of excuses and the queen of denial, right? So when it comes to this particular phrase, it's like, well, if I just had that diet plan I saw last night on the infomercial, yeah, then I would lose the weight. That's what I need. That's the thing that would like help me a lot. Or, if I just had more money, then I could buy like a new wardrobe and I would feel better in my own skin right now. If I just had this new meal plan and someone could explain it to me, I would lose all the weight. If I could just afford a gym membership, that's exactly what I need. If I could just... So you come up with all these like BS excuses thinking that this is what's blocking you. This is what's blocking you from where you need to go. This is what's blocking you from hitting your goal weight. This is what's blocking you from learning how to love yourself. This is what's blocking you from feeling confident in your own skin. And so you have excuses about all of it. Well, if I didn't have this schedule, then, I'd actually be able to eat better. If I didn't have to travel so much for my job, then I would do better. If I didn't have a baby at home, I would be able to like eat better meals. And I want you to really think about this, because when you are in this place of using excuses all the time as it relates to your weight and your well-being, you have a new excuse for each chapter of your life. So 10 years ago, it was because you were in college and you were busy and you had to work and you had to go to school and you didn't have time to cook and you didn't have enough money. And now let's say you're in a place where you're married, you have kids, you have a great job, you have great money. Now your excuse is, well, I'm too busy because I have the kids and they have these events. So I want you to look at that in your own life in the ways that you are constantly creating new excuses based on your life circumstances. Because that's what you do. because it's easy to have that hurdle, that excuse, because it's taking the ownership off of you. It's taking the responsibility away from you. If you can just use other things as an excuse, then you don't actually have to dig in and do the actual work that's required. Okay? And so these things, if you have this this statement of, if I had this, then I could X. If I had this, then I could lose weight. If I had this, then I could feel better. If I had this, then I would feel more confident. I want you to think about those statements and how that shows up for you in your own life. So the other thing that you're actually really good at is blaming other people, other things, other circumstances, other situations. So for example, well, my Weight Watchers partner, she quit coming to meetings with me, and if she wouldn't have quit and gave up, I wouldn't have given up on myself either. It's only because she stopped coming to the meetings with me that I stopped going. No, that's not what it is. That's blame, that's an excuse, and that's also a form of you being in denial that you have anything to do with where you're at. A form of denial that you have any responsibility for the weight that's on your body. That person that comes to the meetings with you, she didn't put the weight on you. She didn't shove the cupcakes down her throat. She didn't shove the food down your throat. You did. And for a lot of you, that's hard for you to admit. That's hard for you to understand that the reason you look in the mirror, the reason you don't like what you see, the reason why you don't feel good is because of the choices that you made, not because of what anybody else did. So we continue to look for people and situations we got to blame. We got to put all the blame on them because it's not me. I didn't do this because I'm perfect. I didn't do this because if I just had that diet plan that I saw yesterday, then I would be able to lose the weight because I know what to do. I know exactly how to do it, but I'm not doing it. So we get this arrogance, this arrogant vibe about us, about well, it's not my fault. Yeah, boo, it's your fault. 100% it's your fault. Okay? That's not to be said in a bad way. It's just the truth of what this is. Nobody shoved the food in my throat but me. So I can blame other people and other circumstances all day long. How is that helping me? How is that serving me? And how is that pushing me towards where I want to go? It's not. It's keeping you stuck. It is. This is one of the things that's keeping you on that hamster wheel of the yo-yo diet, body, hate, shame cycle. Actually picture a hamster running on the wheel. That's you. Blaming things, these are things that come up well, my husband or my wife doesn't want to eat healthy, so I'm not willing to cook 2 different meals. I can't do this. They're not willing to do it with me, and if they're not willing to do it with me, I'm not doing it. Seriously? So instead of just drawing a line in the sand and telling your partner, this is how it is. This is how it's going to be because I matter. I deserve this. I need to change my lifestyle. You either come with me and get in the passenger seat, or you can just ride on back there and do your own thing and keep gaining your weight, keep feeling miserable, and keep being gross, eating the fast food and all the other shit that you put in your mouth. Your choice. Pick it. So, again, not standing up to a partner or a husband or a wife, not standing up to them and telling them, listen, this is important to me because of XYZ. I need to do this. You're either with me and doing it with me and supporting me in that way, or you're not. And being okay with that, right? Being able to have that conversation, guess what, guys? It takes confidence. It takes self-love. If you don't feel like you deserve this, if you don't feel like you deserve to do better, to take better care of your body and your life, do you really think you're having that conversation? Hell no. It's easier to just say the hell with it, hit up the DoorDash, yeah, let's just Netflix and chill, order all the junk food, let's do the thing. I'll start back on Monday. That's what you're doing. Because you don't feel like you're worth a damn. You don't feel like you're worth anything to have that conversation, to stand up for yourself and for what you need in order for you to take better care of yourself and your body. And so you look for other people to blame. And it's not your spouse's fault. It's not your Weight Watcher partner's fault. It's not your workout partner's fault because they stopped coming to the gym because they broke their leg. It's none of their faults. You have to stop putting blame on everybody else, and you have to start taking accountability and responsibility for your part and where you are in your life. You say things like, well, I was doing so good. And, every time I go back home, for the holidays, or every time I go back home on the weekends and I see my grandma or my mom or my aunt, they push all their food on me and I can't say no because that's rude. And I don't want them to know I'm on a diet and I don't want them to think I'm trying to do this and that. Like, again, you're putting the blame on other people and not taking ownership for your role and where you are. Or, classic, like every time I'm doing good, I'm losing the weight, I'm doing everything by the books, I'm doing everything perfectly, and then all of a sudden we have a potluck at work. And that ruined everything. And because of that potluck, I fell off track and I have to start over. And it just threw me off and I've been off track for weeks now. And that's because of one effing potluck, one meal out of your entire life is what threw everything off. And the bigger classic of like, well, I do great all week, then the weekend comes and I blow it. I blow it because everybody wanted to go out and it was so-and-so's birthday and there was going to be drinks and it's an anniversary and it's a birthday and it's this and it's that. It's like, yeah, welcome to life. Hello. Welcome to life. I mean, do you think that life is just this bubble that you live in because you're on a diet, because you have to lose weight, because you have goals, because you want to be successful at certain things in your life? And what? You're going to do that in a bubble? A bubble of what? No birthdays, no anniversaries, no potlucks, no people like ghosting you to do things. Everybody wanting to do it your way. Everybody wanting to jump on board with what you want to do because it's your goal. It's not their goal. So all you're doing by blaming other people, you're again wasting more time and you're wasting energy instead of trying to find out, okay, where's my responsibility in this? How could I do better? What is it for me that's actually missing? Because you know what? I keep saying that I know what to do and I know how to do it and I'm just not doing it, but maybe I actually don't know what to do because if I did, I wouldn't be expending all this energy with excuses and blame and looking for what I'm lacking. Make sense? Yeah? And when you are, so I have, for me in my world, there's two worlds, right? There's the yo-yo diet body hate shame cycle and there's the Irresistible You framework. And you're either in one of those two things, right? And if you're listening to this and you are not working with me, you are not in my coaching programs, you haven't enrolled in my course, you're probably still stuck on the yo-yo diet body hate shame cycle. And when you're in that place, there are a lot of mindsets, there are a lot of patterns, a lot of things that you're doing that oftentimes you don't even know that you're doing because you're zombie walking it through life and you're not awake and you're kind of like asleep at the wheel. And you don't realize that you have these patterns and these mindsets and these thoughts and these things that are constantly driving your decisions. And so it's a lot easier to say, well, I know what to do and I know how to do it. I'm just not doing it. Well, okay, let's look at that, right? Because if you knew how to manage your thoughts, if you knew how to understand the BS stories that you're carrying around, if you knew how to understand and break the fat bitch mindsets that are going on, maybe you would be doing what you needed to do. But if you don't know that you're even doing that, then how would you even know how to fix it? Okay? So what ends up happening is you are trying to follow a meal plan, an exercise routine, a diet that you saw on Pinterest or you ordered last night at 3 a.m. online. Because at one point in your life, you're like, well, I lost 75 pounds doing this, or I lost 60 pounds following this plan and doing this type of workout. And now it's not working for you, and you're trying to force it to work, and you're not willing to let it go. That happens a lot. And I'm not doubting that if you have lost weight in the past following a specific plan like that, well, clearly you knew how to get the weight off. That's not what I'm talking about. Because I know this might be hard to understand. Getting the physical weight off by just following a plan, that's actually really easy. If you can follow the plan. That is the caveat. If you can follow the plan. Anybody could look at a plan and go, okay, this is exactly what I need to eat, when I need to eat it, and how to do it. But let me tell you this, that diet plan, that meal plan, that exercise plan doesn't take into consideration the potluck that's going to happen on Thursday. Grandma pushing her favorite recipe on you during Christmas break. Your spouse saying, I don't want to eat salads for dinner. I'm not doing this with you. I don't want to do this right now. It's not taking into account your workout partner breaking their leg and being out of commission for 6 months. It's not taking into account your Weight Watchers partner deciding they don't want to do this anymore. And now you're on your own to go to these meetings. Where in your diet plan that you followed 10 years ago, where was any of that in there to help you build those skills, to help you become resilient, to help you manage your thoughts, to help you get all of the inner fat bitch chatter out of your brain? Where in your plan was any of that? That's right, it wasn't there. It wasn't built into the plan. So while you're sitting here thinking, well, I know how to do it because I lost 50 pounds in 2006, or I lost 100 pounds in 1993, that's fantastic, but that doesn't matter right now. Because if you had mastered and learned the skills and the resources and the techniques that I'm talking about, you wouldn't be sitting here listening to this podcast today, still repeating the same cycle, still gaining back all the weight that you lose. So clearly, your diet plan or your meal plan did not include what you actually really need to know. Because in all honesty, the actual process of losing physical weight is quite simple. It's a simple formula. You know what it is? It is eat less, move more. It's simple science and math. That's it. Unless you have some chronic disease and you can't get I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that know they can lose the weight. They know they've lost it in the past. It is simple. It's eat less and move more. But what happens is the diet culture, the medical industry, they oversimplify that it's eat less, move more. Well, you have the meal plan. Why can't you just follow it? What's wrong with you? I gave you that workout plan. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day and coming to the gym and knocking out this plan that I gave you? How come you can't follow this grocery list and order the things on the list and go cook the food? How come you have this home delivery service for meals and you're not cooking them and eating them? What's wrong with you? Don't you have any willpower? Don't you want this bad enough? Don't you have any desire for this? Aren't you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? That is what they want you to feel. And that's how you're feeling, right? You're feeling like, well, I don't have enough willpower. I must not want it bad enough. I don't have enough desire. I don't have what I need to make this happen. And that's just it. You don't have what you need to make this happen right now. Because a diet or a meal plan and an exercise plan are not enough. You do need those things. If you actually are trying to lose weight, hello, yeah, you need to have a meal plan and a way to work and some type of activity that you're going to be doing exercise, because you have to eat less, you have to move more. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be a diet. It doesn't have to be some fad diet that's out here. But yes, you do have to look at what you're eating and how you're moving. But the problem in our world, in our society, is the fact that what you actually need to put those two things together to make it work, to make it stick, to make it last, to make you know and feel in your bones that you're worth a damn, that is what's missing. That is not what is included with your nutritionist's meal plan. That is what's not included on your personal trainer's exercise routines. That is what's not included in the 3 a.m. 6-week diet plan that you ordered online. None of that stuff is included. And so if you're trying to follow this diet from the past where you lost the weight and now it's not working, and you're sitting here going, but why isn't it working for me? I know what to do. I know how to do it. I'm just not doing it. Like, why am I not doing it? I guess I don't want it bad enough right now. I guess I'm too comfortable. I guess I'm too this. You know, the reason why it's not working for you is because it's not teaching you how to stop the blame game. It's not teaching you how to stop making excuses. It's not teaching you how to find what's missing in your life. Like, what am I lacking? It's not teaching you that you need to actually know and learn how to love yourself, how to have some kind of worth about yourself, how to value yourself if you want this to work. They don't teach you those things. You know, they're not teaching you how to deal with those thoughts that come up. You know, eat less, move more. Okay, yeah, but like again, what about the potluck? What about Aunt Betty when she makes her famous dessert pie? And what about when they ask me to go to happy hour next week? And what about when everybody's going to go to the beach next weekend and I'm still not comfortable in my own skin? What's going to happen to me? How am I going to feel? What am I going to say to them? No diet is telling you how to do that. None of them. And so you're sitting there thinking that you're broken. You're sitting there thinking that you're dumb, that you don't have what it takes, that you must not want this bad enough because you keep telling yourself, well, I know what to do and how to do it. I'm just not doing it. Yes, you're not doing it because you don't know how to do it. You're not doing it because you don't know how to address the excuses. You don't know how to recognize that you're even in denial. You don't know how to stop blaming everything else for where you are right now. You don't know how to stop blaming other people for the number that you see on the scale. You don't know how to stop blaming yourself for getting back to this place again. And how many of you are doing that? Constantly blaming yourself. Well, if I just would have stuck to that plan when I lost the weight 3 years ago, I never would have gained it back. I'm so dumb. No, you're not. You're not dumb. You're not broken. You just don't have this other thing that's missing. You have this toolkit, and you've got these tools that you don't have yet. And that's what you need. That's why you're not doing what you need to do and following through. And again, you don't know what you don't know sometimes, right? And so you're looking at everything the wrong way because that's what's been drilled into your head from society, from diet culture, hell, even probably from doctors. Well, just eat less and move more. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you is that you don't know how to drop the emotional weight. You don't even know that's a thing, right? Like if you don't even realize that you have to drop the emotional weight in order for this to work, in order for you to get to your goal weight, in order for you to learn how to love yourself and be comfortable in the body that you're in. Because losing weight, losing the physical weight and losing the physical weight alone is not enough. That is not the magic key to, going after your big scary dreams that you've been putting on hold. That is not the magic key to telling your spouse to go screw themselves and walking out the door because you're tired of their shit. That is not the magic key to leaving the job that doesn't treat you right. That is not the magic key to saying bye to those friends that say nasty things under their breath when you're around. Losing weight doesn't give you the courage, the confidence, the worth to tell those people that they can say bye. That takes someone who is self-confident and self-assured and knows their worth. And that's why you are putting up with stuff like that right now, because you don't know your own worth. You don't have the confidence to stand up for yourself. And so weight is not just about weight. Weight is not just about this physical, like, vanity thing that you see in the mirror. It's so much deeper than that. And I don't even know if you realize how much it's ruining your life right now. It's not just about, I don't like what I see in the mirror. I changed my clothes 3 times today. I'm going to call out of work because I don't want anybody to see me like this. I feel so gross. No, it's affecting you in big, big ways. Staying in abusive relationships, hanging out with shitty-ass friends, staying in jobs, wasting your life away for some person who doesn't give a damn about you and finds you replaceable. That's what you're actually doing. And so if you're like, well, I know what to do and I know how to do it because I did it in the past, it's like, well, yeah, then you wouldn't be where you are right now. Because what also happens is when you don't have love for yourself, when you don't have self-worth and confidence, you don't believe that you need to take better care of your body. And when you don't take good care of your body, what do? You fill it with a bunch of garbage. You don't care about hitting up the drive-thru and eating all that garbage. You don't care about binge eating in front of the TV. You don't care about the way you're going to feel tomorrow morning when you eat all the food and you're bloated and in pain and all the things. Someone that values themselves is like, oh no, I'm not going to go through that because I don't want to feel like that tomorrow. I know I'm not, no. Mm-mm. Someone who values themselves knows their body deserves to be taken care of. And to take care of your body is about eating the right foods. It's about exercising and moving and not laying around on the couch for 4 days watching documentaries. That's not a hobby. If that is your hobby, we need to talk ASAP. And I'm serious. That is not a hobby. Watching and binge watching series for days is not a hobby. It's not. We have our moments. We want to veg out. Cool. Binge watch your show. But when you're doing this for days at a time, not leaving your house, watching TV, that is a problem. A major problem. So, anyway, and it's frustrating and it's crazy making because you keep looking at everything the way you've always done it, but expecting different results. Well, I know how to lose the weight because I know I've done this before, so I'm just going to follow that, the same plan that I did 20 years ago, 10 years ago to get the weight off, and then you're wondering why it's not working. You're wondering why you're not getting the results that you want. You're wondering why you're still on the hamster wheel. You're wondering why you can't just stick to it. And so then you start beating yourself up. Something's wrong with me. I don't have what it takes. I must be so dumb. I'm so stupid. I'm not driven. I don't have the desire. I guess I got to get, hit rock bottom. I guess this isn't it. Let me go find something worse to happen to me. Like, that is asinine to me. Think about it. You want something bad to happen to you. You want your life to get to a lower point before you take action. Well, how much lower does it need to get? Honestly, how much lower do you really want your life to get right now? Like, seriously? Like, do you know how many people, wish they were in your shoes? Do you ever think about that? The fact that the life that you have is the life that somebody else wants. Meaning, there's always someone else that's in a worse spot than you are. And what you consider, horrible, they would think is amazing. It's all perspective, right? And so for me, when I realized that I had to stop saying someday, I had to stop pushing all my goals off to someday. Because the truth of the matter is someday doesn't exist. Someday doesn't happen until you actually create actions to get to where you want to go someday. That's it. And when I started going through this process and hitting my deepest, darkest depression, after gaining back all of my weight for, I don't know how many times it was at that point, but this was my lowest point. And when that happened to me, and I really said, you know what? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how to do it anymore, but I'm going to figure it out because I know I can figure it out and I know I deserve to figure it out. Do you see the difference? Right now it's, I know what to do. I know how to do it. I'm just not doing it. I'll figure that out. No big deal. Versus, I got to this point of saying, I don't know what to do anymore because clearly none of it's working. Clearly, the lifetime of yo-yo dieting hasn't worked. Because if it did, I wouldn't be sitting in this deep, dark place that I'm at right now. And so in that moment, I decided, I just have to start figuring this out and not figuring out how to lose weight. Figuring out how to stop all the BS stories, how to stop and change my negative mindset. Because y'all, I was so negative. I had a negative mindset. I was pessimistic. I was always looking at the worst in things and always thinking everything had to be this big dramatic party when anything bad happened. And I mean the tiniest little things. And I knew I had to change all that. I didn't know all of it. And that's when I started my journey. Not my weight loss journey, my Irresistible You journey. Because losing weight alone wasn't going to fix what was going on for me. And it's not going to fix what's going on for you either. It's a benefit. Just like right now, the overweight, having extra weight, is a symptom of the other stuff in your life. And if you fix that other stuff in your life, the weight may come off. And if it does come off, it's like a side effect. It's like icing on the cake. But it's not what you actually want to be driving towards. Make sense? So this, when I discovered what needed to happen, that is when I discovered what every other diet plan, meal plan, exercise plan, what those things were missing and what I needed to create. And that's when the Irresistible You framework was developed. That was developed from me actually going through a lifetime of running on the hamster wheel, hitting the wall multiple times, and then finally being like, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore because clearly I don't know what to do. Because if I did, I'd be doing it. And so it's a lot of times you got to let go of thinking that you're right. And I know when you're in the hamster wheel, you think that you know everything because it's a front. It's a front. It's a way to deflect from the fact that you're scared shitless. You're not happy. You don't like where this is going. You don't like where your life is. So you put up this deflector. I know what to do. If I could just do it, I'd be doing it. Okay, then do it. Then do it then, right? But you can't because you don't have the skills that you need in between. You don't know how to lose the emotional weight. You don't know how to drop the fat bitch mindsets. You don't know how to find and gain confidence because you're not going to gain confidence because you're a size 6. That doesn't work. That is not the way you get confidence. And so if you can let your guard down and allow yourself to be vulnerable and say out loud, you know what? Maybe I don't know how to do this. Maybe I don't have what I need to do this right now. And start getting real with yourself and stop pretending that you're this holier than thou person that's perfect if you could just do it. Because if you could do it, you would do it. Right? Okay. So again, that's where I came into this whole Irresistible You framework that I talk about, that I teach, that I coach, that I have clients that do it. These are the 5 steps. These are the things that are missing. This is it. Those are the 5 steps. I have another episode where I know I go through some of that. I'll link it in the show notes. But what I would actually encourage you to do, if you really want to change, You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know that you need to transform. What I want you to do is I want you to sign up for my free training. We're doing this training on Tuesday night, and it's going to walk you through all the secrets that you need to know about how to look and feel irresistible no matter what size you are. I don't care if you are 250 pounds, 100 pounds, I don't care what your weight is. I don't care if you're trying to lose weight or if you're not trying to lose weight, because the emotional weight, a lack of confidence, a lack of self-love doesn't care how much you weigh, because it's not about that number. Because those mindsets don't go away, like I said, because you're a size 6 or a size 10 or whatever you're trying to get to. That doesn't happen. So what I want you to do is I want you to sign up for the training. It's happening on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I will put the link inside of the show notes. All you have to do is put your name and put your email. And, are you listening? You have to show up. You have to show up. And I see you. I see y'all. Y'all sign up for this stuff and then you don't show up. It's time to start taking accountability. It is time to start showing up for yourself. It is time to start taking accountability. And that begins by you showing up and coming to the training and staying on the training. Because don't just go signing up if you know damn well you're not going to come tomorrow. Don't do it. Don't do it. I want you there because I know you're committed. I want you there because you need the information. Okay? So put your name, put your email, show up, be interactive, participate. No one has to see you. No one's going to see you on camera. You're just going to be there like in the chat box. Okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. And just listen. Just listen, just absorb, and start thinking about the fact that, hey, you know what? Maybe there is a better way to do this. Maybe there is another way. Maybe there is something in my life that I need to work on that's not just another meal plan or an exercise plan. And maybe it's not the fact that I don't want this bad enough. It's that I don't have the tools that I need. Right? So I'd love to see you there. And oh my gosh, I almost forgot to share this. This is huge. Like, I cannot explain to you how big this is. If you show up to the training tomorrow, Tuesday, 8 p.m., if you show up to the training, I am giving you access to one of my master classes that is only included inside of my signature course, inside of my signature program. It is amazing. It is worth $300. It's probably worth way more than that because I give away a ton of good information, and it is all about how to become a confidence queen. So just by showing up, just by staying through the training, you will get access to that. And I will share more information with you on the training tomorrow, but I hope to see you there. And I hope that this is resonating. I hope that this is making sense for you, because I truly, 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 truly know and believe that you can transform your life. I know that you can. Like, I've done it. Clients have done it. Other people have done it. Like, I know that you have what it takes, but you have to be willing to recognize that maybe you don't know what you're doing, and that's why you're not doing it. Okay? If you love this episode, if you love the podcast, please head over to iTunes and share a quick rating and review. It is so, so helpful for other women to find our community, for other women to get this message, and I would love you long time if you could go and do that. Until the next time, you guys, stay irresistible.